what's up everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ash, and today's video we're going to be going over my most anticipated releases for 2025. So this is not going to be a really big list, so I've only got releases up until the end of April, so there's about, say 6-7 books on this list, so it's going to be a relatively short one, but a lot of these books I am quite excited for. So without further ado, let's get into the books. Okay, so starting in January, on the 14th we have Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. So from what I know about this follows a bunch of young girls who are in this, essentially I think it's home for pregnant teenagers, and from what I gather, a lot of magical stuff happens. I think it's when this girl gets given this magical book and stuff starts to happen. That's the basic plot of what I know, and this cover is absolutely gorgeous. I have never read any Grady Hendrix before, but I do plan on reading his Southern Book Club's guide for Wintergreen in January, so hopefully I read that one, really love it, and I hope I love this one too. But it sounds really good from the premise. Okay, so then going on to the 21st of January, we have Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. So this is the third book in the Fourth Wing series. Now, have I read the second book? No. Do I plan on picking it up hopefully in January? Fingers crossed, yes. So I did start reading it not long after it came out, but then I sort of my reading fell into a bit of a big slump this year, so unfortunately it didn't get read, but I do hope to read it before this one comes out. I won't really spoil too much about the second book because I haven't read it, but the first book we follow Violet, who essentially is sent to this war college when she doesn't necessarily want to. She wants to become a scribe like her dad was, and then it's essentially a dragon rider school where nearly every second person gets killed off pretty much a lot. So I really enjoyed the first one. I hope I do enjoy the second one enough to continue on, but we shall see, but hopefully it works out. Okay, so moving into February, on the 11th of February we have Scythe and Sparrow by Bram Weaver. So this is the third book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. I read Butcher and Blackbird. I quite enjoyed it, gave 3.5 stars. I am currently halfway through the second one. Not as good, but I'm enjoying the killings part. So this is the third and final book. I don't know too much about who this follows. I'm assuming we'll meet them at some point in book 2, or if we have met them in book 1. I can't remember. It's been a while since I read the first one. Don't know too much about this apart from it's a serial killer romance like the first two were. As I said before, I quite enjoyed the first one, gave it 3.5. Second one, I'm still on the fence about, but currently it's about a 3 where I'm up to, so we shall see where that goes. But I am still keen to continue with this series, but hopefully this one is just as good as Butcher and Blackbird. Okay, and moving on to the 25th of February, probably my most anticipated read of all 2025, if not of all time, and that is, of course, The Dark Mirror by Samantha Shannon.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
When I tell you the wait for this book has been painful, I'm not exaggerating. We've essentially waited over 3 years for this book, and the way the book 4 ended, yeah, I needed this book like 3 years ago. So this is of course the 5th book in the Bone Season series. If you don't know, it's probably one of my all-time favourite series ever. So in the Bone Season we follow a young girl called Paige Mahoney, who is essentially a second in command to this guy named Jackson Hall, and she is a clairvoyant, but in this world clairvoyance is illegal, and basically one day she's captured and taken to Oxford, where the whole world essentially opens up in ways she couldn't imagine. So I am very excited for book 5. I've seen so many people get early copies and the reactions have been insane. I know this book is going to make me excited, break my heart. I do plan on rereading the entire first half of the series before this comes out. I did want to do it last year, but unfortunately that fell off to the wayside. But hopefully in January I can get that reading vlog up and out to you guys as soon as possible. But I'm just so excited. I cannot wait for this book. Okay, so moving into March. On the 19th of March we have Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. So this is of course a prequel to the Hunger Games trilogy, and this one, as far as I know, is a book about Haymitch. Now I loved Haymitch in the movies. I haven't read the original trilogy. I do want to read it, and that one as well as the Snow book, whatever that was called. Songbirds and Snakes, that's what it was called. So I do plan on reading on reading the original trilogy as well as that before this one comes out, hopefully. Depends on when I can sort of squeeze it in. But I do have a lot of time. Like I say, this one doesn't come out till the 19th of March. So as far as I know, this one follows Haymitch in, I think it's one of the first Victor's games, from what I remember. I love this cover. It's really, really pretty. Hopefully I do quite enjoy the books, because I really did enjoy the movies. So hopefully this one's a winner for me as well. Okay, so moving into April. On the 16th of April, we have The Shadow Bride by Shelby Mahern. So this is the second book in the Scarlet Veil. I had to think about the duology name. So this is the second book in the Scarlet Veil duology, and this duology is actually a follow-on from Serpent and Dove. Now, I will say, I don't think you have to have read the Serpent and Dove trilogy to sort of know what's going on. Like, those characters are in the book a little bit, but not as much, so you don't really need to know a whole lot about it. So in the first book, we follow Celie, who is a character from the original trilogy, but she's not as prevalent in those books as I thought she might have been. But this one, we follow her and her journey as a chasseur, I think that's how you say it. So basically, they were essentially a group of supernatural witch hunters, and a lot of their history comes from the first series. But like I said, I personally don't feel like you have to have read the original trilogy to pick this one up. I think it does a good job of establishing the world and the characters. But the way that book ended, I needed the sequel as soon as that book ended. The way it ended, I was like, holy shit, this is insane. But yes, I'm very, very excited to read this one. Hopefully I am going to do a reread of the first book before this one comes out in April. Alright, so moving on to the 29th of April, we have Wandering Wild by Lynette Noni. When she announced this book was coming out this year, I was very excited. I didn't think we'd get another book from her for a while, because I know she isn't currently writing another series, but we don't know too much about that one. So this one is actually a standalone series, so it's not connected to any of her other previous books. So from what I gather from this one, we follow two people, Charlie and another... I know Charlie's a girl's name, I can't remember who the guy is, but essentially from what I gathered, it's this... they get thrust together in like this Bear Grylls challenge, but then stuff goes horribly wrong with their instructor, and they essentially have to survive on their own in the wilderness, and they don't necessarily like each other either. So this is enemies to lovers as far as I know, and the two covers, they are absolutely gorgeous. I really want both. Even though I'm trying to cull down on the multiple copies of books I buy throughout the year, depending on what that is, of course, but I actually love both covers of this book, so I am very, very excited to read this book and see, essentially add it to my Lynette Noni collection. Alrighty, and the final book I want to talk about, which hopefully, and I say hopefully, we'll talk about that in a minute, comes out on the 30th of April, and that is, of course, Silverborn by Jessica Townsend. So this is the fourth book in the Morrigan Crow series. Now, the reason I say take that with a grain of salt, because this book has been delayed at least maybe 3 times as far as I'm aware, and I know Jessica Townsend did want to essentially confirm this release date. Hey guys, it's Editing Ash here, just popping in to come in and say I didn't really communicate too well what this book was about and why the release date was being pushed back. So essentially this book was pushed back so many times, but it has been officially confirmed that the release date is the 30th of April. So essentially in this one we follow Morrigan Crow, who is essentially cursed to die on her birthday and then is essentially chosen to go away to this magic school. So I thought I'd just pop in with that editor's note real quick, just because I didn't explain it too well in the video. Okay, bye. So I really did enjoy the first one. I gave that 5 stars. So I really, really do hope that the 30th of April is the actual confirmed release date, but as I say, take it with a grain of salt because this book has been pushed back quite a few times. Alrighty, so that is my most anticipated releases for at least the first half of 2025. So let me know if any of these books are on your list, or if you plan to read any of them. Let me know down in the comments down below, that would be awesome. If you have gotten this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a while since I uploaded any content, but we're going to hopefully rectify that in 2025, but we shall see. Hopefully my motivation stays like this to actually film. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, all my socials will be linked down below if you want to follow me, Goodreads, Instagram, whatnot. Thank you so much again for watching. If you did like this video, please do give it the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to me, I would love it if you did. And I shall see you guys hopefully in my next video coming very soon. Bye.
Goodbye forever, you factory reject dildos.